Now, when you're looking at the holiday of Pesach, it has a few different names. We call it Chag Aviv, Chag Pesach, Chag Matzot, the holiday of Matzot, the holiday of the spring. But really, Chag Pesach, the holiday of Pesach, is called Chag HaCherut, the holiday of freedom. And when you're really thinking of the idea of Pesach, then we went out of Mitzrayim. We were slaves. We went out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt, and then we went in the desert, and then we got the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu, when he came down from the mountain, he brought down with him freedom. That's what he brought. That's one of the many reasons why the Ten Commandments are engraved on the tablets. Because to engrave in Hebrew is lachrot, or engraved is charut. And charut and cheirut is the same letters. You just pronounce it different. Charut is engraved, and cherut is freedom. Moshe Rabbeinu was able to bring down from the mountain cherut, to bring us freedom. Now, any person that is not free is called a slave, and that's why we have to constantly remember the leaving of Egypt. If you notice that in a lot of our prayers, we mention Yetziat Mitzrayim, Zecher L'Yetziat Mitzrayim, Zecher L'Yetziat Mitzrayim. We do Kiddush on Shabbat, Zecher L'Yetziat Mitzrayim. What's the deal with this? This is Shabbat. You have to remember Mitzrayim. You put tefillin on for the fact that we left Mitzrayim. Constantly we're reminding us that we left Mitzrayim. Now, if you want to get stuck on the historical parts, like they teach us when we're in school, that we were slaves and we went out of Mitzrayim, that's one thing. But our sages teach us, "Bechol dor vador chayav adam lirot atzmo kilu yatsa miMitzrayim." Every generation, a person has to see himself like as if he left Egypt. Now, what does that mean? Was every day I have to remember that my forefathers were slaves? I have to every day remember that I am stuck in Mitzrayim. And as long as I am controlled by the limitations of the physical world, then I am a slave. And the actual result that I will experience from the fact that I am a slave, that I'm not going to be happy. And I'm going to be depressed, and I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to be not sleeping well, not eating well. I'm not going to be happy. Now, how many people can really look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm very, very happy with my life? On the external part, maybe you can look in the mirror, or maybe not. You're looking around, people say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm happy. But late at night, when you're lying in bed and the cover is on your head and your thoughts are running in your mind, all sorts of worries. How am I going to make money? How am I going to pay my rent? Am I ever going to meet my other half? How can I get over my sickness? Whatever it is. If I have all these thoughts in my mind constantly, then I'm very unhappy. And most people are unhappy. And on the external parts, people pretend like they're happy. So they're constantly looking to enjoy little pleasures in this world, so I can feel 2 minutes here that I'm happy and 3 minutes here that I'm happy. So I'll spoil myself with a cookie and a cake and a piece of chocolate, and hear a movie and hear something, and I'll put some music and dance and lose my focus on the world and use all these distractions, which is all fine. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that I want to experience real happiness. I want to be 100% free. And that's what we want to talk about today. Because you can be walking around in the streets and you're free to do whatever you want. That's not freedom. That's just being wild. But doesn't mean freedom. Real freedom is that I'm not limited to anything. Nothing limits me, nothing controls me. And I'm in constant state of 100% I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Doesn't matter if I have bills, I don't have bills, I have debts, I don't have debts. Doesn't matter. I'm constantly happy. Constantly I'm carrying simcha balev, 100% happiness. Now, when I say that Moshe Rabbeinu brought down the Torah from the Shamayim, then we say that Moshe brought down freedom. One can argue and say, what are you talking about? The Torah is freedom? What's freedom about here? Wake up at 5 in the morning, pray. Every time you put something in your mouth, you have to say a blessing. Everything that I want to do, I'm limited. Don't eat this, don't eat that. Don't do this, don't do this. Don't do that, don't do this. That's not freedom. I want on Shabbat to go out. No, you can't drive on Shabbat. I want to do this, you can't watch a movie. Why are you telling me the Torah is freedom? The Torah seems the opposite of freedom. I just now had a whatever it is, a cup of coffee. I want to eat now something that is meat. No, you gotta wait. You can't eat them together. So all these list of limitations, this is not freedom. That's what one can argue. But really, the more boundaries you have, the more you're following a certain pattern, which is, in our case, we're talking about the Torah, that's how you are the most free. When you are out of control and you do whatever you want, that's not freedom. That's just going wild.